Hey, James Clements here. It's good to have a laugh about yourself occasionally. Before I get started, I just recorded this lovely video but realised I was on the camera and not the video camera, so a good 5 minute recording to get one frame out of it. But anyway, back to what I want to talk about today. So thanks for joining me, and what I want to introduce today is the concept of virtual project management. Now, on my site, Project Plan Online, I've primarily looked at training courses for traditional sort of training or traditional project management roles and methodologies and so forth. But lately I've been getting really interested in the virtual project management world, and that is virtual project management from a point of view of what it's like to be a project manager on a virtual project and what it's like to be an employer of virtual project managers and how you make that work. So what I'm going to do over the next couple of months is to really explore the virtual project management world. I'm going to look at the individual. I'm going to look at the organisation. I'm going to look at the frameworks that an organisation needs to have in place to be able to have successful virtual projects. And conversely, I'm going to explore what it's like to be a virtual project manager. What it's like to work not in the office or on site with a project team. What it's like to actually potentially never even meet the project team. So I'm going to look at what those challenges are, how you communicate, make up the differences in your communication ability. I mean, we all know as a project manager, people talk about 70 or 80% of communications are delivered by body language and eyes and so forth. So when you're on the end of a telephone or a Skype call or something, how do you get that communication and trust and everything across? So there's a lot of challenges from a virtual project management point of view, but there's a lot of benefits as well. So from an organizational point of view, to have a project manager only when you require them, not have to provide facilities for them, potentially get them at a cheaper rate from a low-cost country or something like that. And from a project manager's point of view, it's a lifestyle choice really. So you get to live where you want to live. Potentially, at times you can work the hours you want to work. If you have children or something, then it gives you the opportunity to stay at home and look after those children. So there's a real lot of benefits to be had from the virtual project management way of life, way of working. But there's challenges around it, and I've been looking recently at things like Elance and Upwork, and I already employ a couple of people on Elance and Upwork, and I know about the challenges that are there, because you put a job out to one of those sites, and you get 30, 40, 50 applicants, and how do you get through and hire the right person? And it's a bit of a lottery, and even if you think you've hired the right person, halfway through a project and it goes bad, there's no rewinding to the start. So you've got to have some processes in place to be able to select the right person. You've got to have processes in place to monitor that person's performance and make sure that there's a level of governance around what you're doing, so that you can spot early potential problems and put in some rectification processes and so forth. And similarly, when a project manager looks at going into an organisation, is that organisation actually ready to accept a virtual project manager into its realm? The cultural differences in having someone that potentially people have never met. So you get a guy picks up the phone and says, "Hi, I'm the project manager," and he starts to delegate work, and people, if they're not adequately prepared for that, you can say, "Who is this guy?" And why do we need to work for him, and so forth. So there's a lot of challenges from everyone's perspective on this. So I'm going to look at that. I'm going to step through the employment process of a project manager, how to go about employing decent people, and I'm going to document it along the way in these videos, blog posts, and so forth. So I'm really excited about it. I want to see whether there's a business out there for people to get involved in, from virtual project management, hiring virtual project managers. What's the reality? What are people? I see a lot of people that are advertising themselves and seeking virtual project managers, but how many are actually getting engaged on a day-to-day basis? Who knows? So we'll find that out, and I've been looking on LinkedIn. I see there are some people definitely that have fairly successful virtual project management careers. So I'm going to interview them, hear it from the horse's mouth about what they think it takes to be successful, and just see where it goes. So I'm really excited about it, and I hope you are too. I've created a Facebook page called Virtual Project Management. I'd like you to come over there, like the page, and I'd like you to give me your views. Let's have a conversation. There's no right or wrong answers in this, I don't think. I think it's really just going to be, what is working for certain people in certain industries, in certain countries. It's all going to be different. So, let's have a look at it and see what we come up with. All right. So I look forward to seeing you soon. Hopefully I'll have at least a weekly post, and regardless of that, if something pops up that's interesting, I'll record a quick video and post it. So, we'll probably end up with at least one, more like 2 or 3 videos every week. So thanks a lot, and we'll talk soon.